Aloha everybody, this is Bordessa from Ukulele.com, and I'm going to cover how to do a reggae strum in this lesson. It's something I end up playing a lot of, for better or for worse, because that's what a lot of the guys around here like to play. But it's kind of a challenge when you're first learning it, but getting it down solid is kind of important if you want to be able to play reggae well, because just playing this is a lot different than, and so that using those mutes and kind of putting the space in between the chords is what really tightens up the sound. It allows you to be able to really kind of play the rhythm and, you know, just get the chords in there where it's going to sound best and keep the groove tight with the drummer. So in order to play the reggae beat, basically all you're doing is you're strumming down and up. And the timing for that is you're going to be strumming down on the 2 and on the 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the up comes on the and. So you're going to strum on 2 and 3, 4 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so that's basically your rhythm, and unless you're playing some sort of interesting reggae where you're doing like dub kind of stuff where you have the delay pedal on and you just punch a chord and go bop, 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 you're going to be pretty much playing the 2 and 4 down up beats. So that's pretty simple for your right hand, but when it comes to your left hand, to make the muting easier, well, there's a couple of ways you can do muting, and I'll talk about that first. You can mute either by just lifting up on a chord, where you just play a chord and you lift your fingers up enough so the strings stop ringing. So you go from chord to muted strings, and you do that just by lifting off your fingers. This is best though when you have a closed position chord that you can move around on the neck. If you try and do this with like C, the only string you're going to mute is the bottom string, and that's not really enough to get the desired effect. The other way to do mutes is with your pinky, where you drop your pinky down on the strings to do the mute. This is good if you are, or it doesn't always have to be your pinky. You can use your ring finger or whatever. But this is good for when you are playing open chords and you do need to do the reggae thing. So if you were playing C or F, you can achieve that even with open chords. But hands down kind of best way to do this is with closed position chords. That's why you always hear guitarists playing kind of further up the neck, so they can kind of get that. It's kind of like a pumping effect. You're pumping your hand on the fingerboard. So one of the best places to start, as always, is in the key of C. So let's try this closed position C chord. This is like a B flat, but you move it up 2 frets. Now it's a C. So 5, 4, 3, 3. Just steps, but you're barring the bottom 2 strings with your first finger. Okay? And then, just to do this, you just push down and let up. You push down when you want to hear the chord, you let up when you don't. So, go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So, you can, if it's too hard to get the lift between the number and the and, you can just hold down the chord so it's like 2 and then you let up. But to get a really tight sound, I like to lift up between both of them. So you play, so that's where you get the pumping, because it's like do 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 do, just kind of like a heartbeat. So it's kind of hard to see on the camera just because you really aren't moving that much. You're just going, you're lifting off like a 1/4 of an inch at most to go from playing a chord to muted. But basically that's the idea, and if you can find your closed position chords, in other places you can play through an entire song like that, like Put a Little Love by Natural Vibrations. Okay, that's just C, G, A minor. That one's 5, 4, 5, 3, just like an F sharp minor 7, but you move it up to the 3rd fret. And then it goes F, G. And the last time I did it, I played open chords, and that's where I'm using the pinky or ring finger mute. Okay, so yeah, that's the Reggae Strum. I don't think there's a whole lot else you can do with it. It's a pretty straightforward thing, but it takes a good while to get really kind of solid, and once you do get it solid, you're going to be able to play reggae that much better. So rock on.